The real estate world is full of myths that can really mess with your home buying plan. These myths can stop you from getting the home you want and lead to costly mistakes. But don't worry. As a professional real estate agent, I've got your back. By the end of this video, you'll know how to spot these lies and make better decisions when buying a home. Imagine you've been waiting years to buy a house, thinking prices will keep going up. Then one day you find out your dream home just sold for less than it would have cost last year. This happens because of a big lie in real estate, that home prices always go up. As someone who's been in the business for years, that's just not true. Home prices definitely do go up, but they can also go down or they could stay the same. It all depends on what's happening in your area. So how do you know when it's a good time to buy? Here's how you can find out. Talk to a local real estate professional, and they can get you set up on custom home analyses like HomeBot, or you could check out websites like Zillow or Redfin. They'll show you how prices have changed in different neighborhoods over time. You can see if prices are going up, if they're going down, or if they're staying about the same. Remember, every area is different. Just because prices are crazy in one city doesn't mean they're going to be that way everywhere. That's why it's so important to look what's happening where you want to buy. A lot of people think once they've got their mortgage sorted out, they're good to go. Well, mortgage payments are often less than half what you'll actually pay each month as a homeowner. When you're buying a home, you've got to think about way more than just the mortgage. There's a whole bunch of other costs that can really add up. I'm talking about utilities, maintenance, insurance, and repairs. These all add up quickly and often far exceed just your monthly mortgage payment. I recently had a client who was shocked when they realized how much more they were going to pay each month compared to when they were just renting. Here's what you need to do. When you're figuring out if you can afford a house, don't just look at the mortgage. You've got to budget for all those other costs too. Here's a good rule of thumb. Set aside about 1 to 4% of your home's value each year for maintenance and repairs. So if your house is worth $300,000, you should be saving $3,000 to $12,000 a year just for upkeep. I know it sounds like a lot, but trust me, it's so much better to be prepared. Picture this. You come home after a long day, open the door, and splash. Your feet are suddenly soaked. Your basement is flooded, and you're thinking, no worries, I've got insurance. Here's the thing. A lot of people think insurance is just for big disasters like fires or hurricanes, but that's not true at all. Let's talk about the different types of insurance you might need as a homeowner. First, there's your basic homeowner's insurance. This covers stuff like if a tree falls on your roof or if someone breaks in and steals your TV. But here's the kicker, it doesn't cover everything. That's where other types of insurance come in. Flood insurance is a big one. If you live in an area that might flood, you have to have a separate policy just for that. Same goes for earthquakes. Regular homeowner's insurance won't help if the ground starts to shake. So how do you make sure you're fully covered? First, take a good look at what your homeowner's insurance actually covers. Then think about where you live and what kind of problems or disasters you might face. Here's a tip. Don't just go with the first insurance company you find. Get quotes from at least 3 different providers. I did this and literally saved hundreds and hundreds of dollars. This way, you can compare what they offer, get the most comprehensive coverage, and feel confident in how much it costs. You might find that one company gives you way better coverage for the same price as another. Some people think that being a landlord is just collecting rent checks. Let me tell you, it's not that simple. You're not just sitting back and watching the cash roll in. You've got to deal with all sorts of things like maintenance work, finding tenants, and understanding renting restrictions. The list is long. Having rentals is not passive income. I remember a client of mine, Sarah. She bought a rental property thinking it would be a breeze, but in her first year, she had to deal with a leaky roof, a tenant who wouldn't leave, and a bunch of legal paperwork she did not understand. She told me she actually spent more time on her rental than on her day job. To be a successful landlord, you need to be prepared. You've got to be ready to handle problems at any time. You need to know about property management, have some handyman skills, and understand the legal stuff. It's not just about owning a property, it's about running a business. Ever watch those home renovation shows and thought, I could do that. Let me tell you, it's not as easy as it looks on TV. A lot of people think any renovation will make their home worth more, but that's not always true. Here's the thing, not all home renovations are created equal. Some can really boost your home value, while others might just be a waste of money. Let's talk about what actually pays off. Kitchen remodels are usually a good bet. People love a nice kitchen, and it can really make your home stand out. Bathrooms are another smart choice. A fresh, modern bathroom can make a big difference when you're trying to sell. But here's something you might not know. Sometimes it's little things that matter most. Painting your walls, fixing up your landscaping, or even just replacing the old light fixtures can give you a great return on investment. On the other hand, stuff like adding a pool or doing a major addition, those might not pay off as much as you'd think. In fact, you might only get back about 20 to 50% of what you spend on big, fancy projects like that. So how do you figure out what's worth doing? Here's a tip. Before you start knocking down walls or picking out new countertops, do some research. Look at what other homes in your area have also done. What features are buyers really excited about? That's what you want to focus on. You know, a lot of people think they need to put every penny they have into their down payment when buying a house. I've seen folks completely empty their savings account for a bigger down payment, thinking it will save them a lot of money in the long run. But here's the thing, that can actually put you in a tough spot. Cash is always king. Sure, a bigger down payment can lower your monthly mortgage payments. But what happens if you have small emergencies, like your car breaks down, or you need to replace the roof sooner than you actually thought you would? If you put all of your money into a down payment, you might find yourself in a real pickle. That's why it's super important to balance your down payment with other financial needs. You want to make sure you keep some money in savings for emergencies and other costs that might pop up. Trust me, as a homeowner, unexpected expenses are always going to happen. Here's a good rule of thumb. Try to keep a 3 to 6 months of expenses in savings even after making your down payment. This way, you'll have a safety net for whatever life throws at you. You've probably heard people say renting is like throwing money away. But let me tell you, that's not always the case. Think about it. When you rent, you're not on the hook for repairs, property taxes, or a big down payment. That can free up your money for other things like investing or saving for the future. Now, I'm not saying buying is bad. It can be great for building wealth over time, but it's not always the best choice for everyone, especially if you're not planning to stay in one place for long. Here's a simple way to think about it. If you're going to be in an area for less than 5 years, renting might be better. Why? Because when you buy a house, you've got to pay closing costs, which can be thousands of dollars. If you move too soon, you might not have enough time for your home's value to go up enough to even cover those costs. I recently had a client, Mike, who was sure he wanted to buy. But when we talked about his plans, he realized he might get transferred for work in just a couple years. We did the math, and after running through the numbers, renting made more sense for him. Remember, you've got to look at your own situation. How long do you plan to stay there? How much can you afford? And what's the housing market looking like in your area? Your home is not an ATM, even if some people treat it that way. I've seen a lot of homeowners get into trouble thinking they can easily cash out their home equity whenever they want. But let me tell you, it's not that simple. Sure, you might have built up some equity in your home over time. That's the difference between what your home is worth and what you owe on your mortgage. But getting your hands on that money isn't always as easy or as smart of a move as some people think. There are a few ways to tap into your home equity. You could refinance your mortgage, take out a home equity loan, or even sell your house. But each of these options comes with its own set of challenges and costs. Refinancing might lower your monthly payments or give you some cash, but you'll have to pay closing costs. And if you're not careful, you might end up paying more interest in the long run. Home equity loans can be helpful, but you need good credit to get one. Plus, you'll have another monthly payment to worry about on top of your mortgage. And if you can't keep up with your payments, you could lose your home. Selling your house to cash out might seem like the best idea, but it's not always a quick and easy fix. You've got to find a buyer, deal with all the paperwork, and then find a new place to live. Here's the thing. Your home equity isn't just free money waiting to be spent. It's part of your long-term financial plan. So be careful and be wise in how you use it. The most important thing to remember is this. Don't believe everything you hear about real estate. Do your own research and think about what makes sense for your situation now and in the long term. Remember, knowledge is power in real estate. And if you found this information helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe, and watch this video to get more knowledge on real estate.